Hello everyone, Mario Velasco, owner broker for EP Start Realty. And today we're gonna be looking into the residential buyer tenant representation agreement. And simply as stated on the form, this is a contract between the sales agent and buyer or a tenant. Okay. And today we're gonna be looking into filling in the blanks. We're not going to go into detail on every paragraph. You can read it on your own and get familiar with it so you can present it to your client. So let's go ahead and get started. And the first paragraph is the parties and the agreement, and is simply the client information and the broker information. Remember, the agreements are in the brokerage level. That's why it's the client and it's the broker. Okay. We jump to paragraph number 3 on letter C. Market area. On this portion over here, you're going to fill in on the areas where you're going to be looking at homes. Let's say, for example, your client wants to look in El Paso and Socorro. This is on the section where you're gonna fill in that. Okay. Moving on to paragraph 4, and this right here, it's the first line. You plug in the date where this contract is gonna start and the date where the contract is gonna end. There's no time limit. This is negotiable, so you can you as a real estate agent, it's up to you how much time you're gonna have this contract with. Okay, moving on to paragraph 7, letter D. Name any employer, relocation company, or other entity will provide benefits or claim when acquiring property in the market area. If the buyer is getting help from an employer or relocation company, this is the area where you're going to fill in the information about that company. Paragraph 8. This right here is a portion where you're going to ask your client if they want to do intermediary or no intermediary. Intermediary is if they desire to look at the broker's listings. That means that if they, in case they like one of the listings, that means that they're going to go into an intermediary status. So if they want to do it, you select this box. If they don't want to do it, you select the no intermediary box. Okay. So moving on. Paragraph 11. Okay. Most of the times, the seller will pay the fees for the buyer's agent. In case they don't want to pay, you need to fill in this portion that where your buyer will be paying your fees. If you're helping a buyer, this is where you're gonna fill in the percentage. And if you are helping a tenant, this bottom portion is where you're going to be filling in the information. Okay, moving on. To paragraph F. Let's say you as a real estate agent, you're going to be helping your client managing some construction improvements of the property. And if you're doing that and you're going to charge a fee, this portion on letter F, this is where you're going to write it. That's where you're going to write down your fee. Now on number 3, it says other. So this means that if you want to charge any additional fee to your client for whatever reason, this is where you can write it down. One example could be let's say you're helping a tenant and you want to charge them a fee if for showing houses, rental houses, an additional fee, this is where you're gonna write it down. So moving on to letter G, protection period. Okay, let's say you have your contract comes to an end. Here in this blank, you're filling additional days after the contract ends. And this is a protection for you as a real estate agent to get paid in case your buyer or tenant wants to get a property after the contract ends and is within those days that you write down here. You're still gonna be entitled to get paid. So an example I would say is, let's say the contract ends and you added 30 days here for protection period, and during those 30 days the buyer finds a house or the tenant finds a house during those 30 days, that means you are still entitled for a payment. Okay. All right. So moving on to letter I. County, amounts payable to the broker are to be paid in cash and they're asking for the county, and here is El Paso County. In case there's another county, this is where you're filling in. In case there's another county of Texas, this is where we're filling. In paragraph 16, addenda, this is where there are options to list addenda that you are attaching to the contract. Here I am marking information about brokerage services because this form, it has to be included no matter what. So I have it selected, and these other ones you can add them if it pertains to the contract that you have. And if there is one that is not listed here, then you select this one and you add the form that you're attaching to this agreement. Okay. Jumping to number 17, special provisions. This area can only be filled with material facts that are not covered in any section of this contract. So moving on. So we are to the end of the form. Here at the end, here's the information about the broker, and this is where the broker or the associate signs. If you're a real estate agent, if you're signing this agreement, you select this right here and you sign it, print your name, license number, and date it. If you are a broker signing the contract, then you select the broker and sign information and the license. And on the right side, you have two sections in case there is two buyers, two tenants to sign this contract. Okay. Now a quick note, these blanks right here, once you fill in the complete form, is gonna self fill with the names of the clients and the brokerage. And also another thing to notice is that every page has to be initialed by the associate or broker, sales agent here, and the clients have to initial here, and signatures at the end of the form. Okay, so this is the information that you need to fill in on this form. Remember, this is a contract between you, the sales agent, and a buyer or tenant, and it is very important for you to have this before you start working with your client. I hope this video helped you, and thank you for your time. If you have any questions about this form, you can contact me 915-329-5829. If you work for another brokerage, you can contact your broker. And see you in the next video. Hope this really helped you, and thank you.